That's where we met.
Hey, everybody. Where was it?
Down in South Carolina.
We met in South Carolina?
Yep.
No, it's all right.
Yep.
The people want to know that we're talking even before the interview starts.
Exactly.
We've got this thing, this kinship, if you will. Richard Mourdock of Indiana, a Senate candidate. I'm Tony Katz, here with the Franklin Center, franklincenterhq.org. Sir, first things first, how is the campaign going? Because it's not like you're just having a race against someone from the other party. You're having a race against one of your own guys, so to speak.
Indeed, and not just one of the guys, but an icon of Republican politics for the last 36 years, U.S. Senator Dick Lugar. But to your question, the race is going incredibly well. We've got great momentum. Polling data is fabulous. These numbers of volunteers that have turned out, energized by things like CPAC over the last couple of years.
Yep.
Just absolutely fabulous.
You know, you talk about one of those guys, a Republican institution for 36 years. That's no longer considered a good thing?
That is the way it is today. I mean, people are so dissatisfied. Obviously, the polls show how unpopular Congress is. And the fact is, Dick Lugar, good man that he is really kind of focused on foreign policy. And people in Indiana recognize he's got a great worldview, but not so much a Hoosier view anymore. And that's really what this issue and what this campaign is going to be about.
Talk to me about what's going on in local press in Indiana. How are they portraying the race? Certainly we hear about the press being much more of a left-leaning entity, so maybe they're enjoying the back and forth between the two of you, but how do they play it?
Well, we announced in February of last year, so we've been on the trail almost a full year. At first, I think they were stunned that anyone would even consider running against Dick Lugar, but as time's gone by, and especially since the first of the year now, with our primary coming up in May, they're starting to tune in. They're starting to realize when 3/4 of the Republican county chairman in Indiana signed on to support me, this is a real race. This is about Dick Lugar being cast aside by his own party.
But when the articles get written about how the campaign is going, do they try and make it out to be this big amount of infighting? Do they give it the credit where it's due? Do they recognize the unhappiness you're talking about? He doesn't represent Hoosier values. Do they recognize that in their writing, or do you find a different slant going towards it?
There's a different flavor. Larger papers treat it one way, smaller papers treat it another. By and large, and the issues we've been talking about since I'm currently the state treasurer are those issues of finance. So we get a lot of discussion about the debt, and Mr. Lugar's been in a position a couple times trying to defend why he voted to raise the debt limit 13 times. I bring out the information as to how well the state's doing in contrast, talk about bringing that to Washington, and people are relating to that. This campaign is really ultimately going to be about economics at every level.
When is the actual primary for you held?
The primary is coming up just almost exactly 3 months away on May 8th.
That's coming quick.
It is indeed. The polling's fabulous for us.
And people want to learn more about your candidacy. Where do they go?
They go to richardmourdock.com, and Mourdock spelled in a rather unusual way. It's actually M-O-U-R-D-O-C-K. But richardmourdock.com.
Just making it difficult for everybody. M-O-U-R-D-O-C-K. Richard Mourdock, a real pleasure having you here. For more information about Franklin Center, franklincenterhq.org. We're here at CPAC. I'm Tony Katz for the Franklin Center. More videos coming your way.